Okay, welcome America, welcome India, and welcome Selena Gomez to live studio recording of Pre-Calculus in 202. And you guys are so excited. It's the first day after Thanksgiving break, and everyone is just so excited to be here and learn today, as well as me. I can feel all of the energy. If you guys want to do a lap around the school later, we can. Does anyone want to do that? I'm down. Just America, just so you know, we got one hand. One hand. The majority of the rest of the class is eating Chick-fil-A and drinking coffee and on their phones. Good times. All right, anyway. So we're gonna start, and what?
Average high school.
Yeah, exactly, right. So we already kind of went over, watch the videos that I've posted for why we're restricting the range when we are doing inverse trig, because those are really important. We watched them in class last time. You might want to watch them again just to refresh your memory. But I'm just going to start from the beginning really quickly and go through some problems that I've marked that I want to do. So if you're trying to find, just back from the regular unit circle, right? Sine of pi over 6. We know the sine of pi over 6, okay, or 30 degrees is 1/2, right? Here it is, 30 degrees, 1/2. We just know that, we have it memorized. You can figure it out using special right triangles, but we have it memorized because we're awesome. We also know the sine of 5 pi over 6. Here's 5 pi over 6. We know this is 5 pi over 6 because it's almost pi, which is 6 pi over 6. So there's 5 pi over 6. Is also 1/2 because the y values above the x-axis are both positive. So the sine of pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6 is they're both 1/2. So we do a problem like number 1, we're trying to find the arc sine, and you'll see it written arc sine, you'll also see it written like this, the inverse sine. Same thing, okay, of 1/2. If we don't restrict this range from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, and that's what the video is about, we're gonna get 2 answers, and our inverse is not gonna be a function. So that's why we restrict the range. So when we see a problem like this, we know it's sine, we restrict the range from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So we're only gonna get one answer. And now we look at it and say, all right, what angle is gonna give us 1/2? That angle is going to be pi over 6. So we're working backwards. They're saying the sine, or the inverse sine of 1/2 is pi over 6. And if you remember from geometry, we'll do this in red, okay? If I inverse sine both sides, and I have to do it on the left, so it's kind of, the inverse sine and the sine end up canceling each other out. So the pi over 6 is isolated. So the inverse sine of 1/2 is pi over 6. That's what we're doing here. So we're working backwards. So it's really just a unit circle question backwards. So arc cosine, the inverse cosine of negative 1/2. This is cosine, so we're going to restrict the other direction from 0 to pi. Now, this is the x-axis. Cosine, we're dealing with x. Okay, this is positive and that's negative. Negative 1/2. We know as soon as we see the negative for cosine, it's going to be in this second quadrant right here. Where's cosine going to be 1/2 or negative 1/2? That's going to be a tall angle, and that angle, if it's a tall angle, it's going to have a denominator over 3. That's going to be 1 pi over 2, 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3. So this is equal to 2 pi over 3, and it goes a lot faster. Any questions so far? Yeah.
How do you know what to restrict again? Like what to cross out?
You're just gonna have to memorize and just watch the video again about why we're restricting sine and tangent from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. And from cosine from 0 to pi. I don't wanna do that right now in this video. But cosine, you're gonna restrict this way because you wanna have both positive and negative values. And here we have, this is for y, we have positive and negative values. Tangent, we see the 1 or the negative 1. We know it's going to be a middle angle. But first we go ahead and restrict our range, it's going to be negative. So we know it's going to be in this quadrant right here. It's a middle angle. And then we look and we say, all right, what angle is that? Now these angles, you have to make sure you write them between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, right? So this is going to be negative pi over 4. So this is negative pi over 4. So on a multiple choice test, one of the answers might be 7 pi over 4 as an option. You don't want to select that because the answers have to be between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. On the unit circle, when we're doing the unit circle, this is 7 pi over 4 because all the way around is 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. But you need to write that not as 7 pi over 4, as negative pi over 4. Is everybody with me? All right, so that was 1, 6, and 11. Those aren't the problems I wanted to do, but you know, it's fine, whatever. Let's go to 3. Oh, this video is too long. We'll keep going another one.